would be understood as a figure force embodying the terrible or fierce aspects of the cosmos associated with life, death, and rebirth, as well as a mediator between the worlds. The figure of Yagia would embody the deep primal spiritual forces that were central to pre-Indo-Aryan beliefs about the universe and the cycles of existence. Okay, so after that, what I do want to do is go into the interpretation of Igzwa. Now that is spelled Igwja, and we will cover that here in a minute. What I want to do is step away. I'm going to put on a song and come back with a with the second part to this. But what I want to do is I need to go to the bathroom real quick, and that gets a little complicated. So here you go. This one is just Mr. Robot saying, "Let the good times roll." Come on, honey, let the good times roll. Okay, I am back. Yeah, Mr. Robot, he's on a roll. He's been coming out with some good stuff. Like I said, if you guys want to check him out, you can find him on Rumble. He goes by Columinati. You can also check him out on Elements, the Elements Matrix chat. He has a lot of groups there. He's also a part of ours, which is The Wonderful World of Weirdness and Live with Roger Hanson. So you guys can check him out there. If you want to find out how to get to that, you can just go to my X profile, which is Roger Hanson at ROGLOL1973. Click on the link in my About section, and it will take you there. So, with that being said, I will get back to the readings. The reason why I had to take the break, to be honest with you, is because my throat was starting to get a little bit hoarse. and I needed to get something to drink to kind of quench that. So I went in there and I had no coffee, and I had to get a soda instead, which there's no comparison. That's just horrible. Which, don't get me wrong, I like soda too, but it's nothing compared to coffee. Coffee is the elixir of life. So I went through and I checked all of the chats. We have nothing on chat except for somebody trying to solicit for more views, and that's not going to happen. So with that, I could go ahead and continue with the readings. I left off on going into getting into discussing the word Igwaja, which is spelled Igwja, and I guarantee you I am messing that word up. Igzwa, but that's how I perceive it. The word Igzwa, it might resemble certain Proto-Indo-European roots or forms that could be found in pre-Indo-Aryan languages, particularly in the context of spiritual, natural, or cosmic forces. While we don't have direct records of pre-Indo-Aryan languages, there are certain common linguistic patterns and concepts that are believed to have been shared across ancient cultures in the Eurasian steppes and surrounding regions. Ig, would be linked to terms associated with spiritual force, power, or vital energy. In some linguistics reconstructions, the word ig, or similar phonemes could be tied to the concept of fire, light, or life force. In a pre-Indo-Aryan context, this might relate to a divine or cosmic force that gives life or sustains existence. The ending Waja or Waja, WJA, or just JA, could signify a concept of motion, change, or movement, common in many ancient languages to denote a dynamic process or force. It might be linked to the concept of transformation or passage, a journey or cycle which is central in many early belief systems that involve spiritual or cosmic transitions. Given these phonetic considerations, Ixwa could potentially refer to a cosmic force or spiritual energy that plays a central role in the cycles of life, death, and rebirth. In pre-Indo-Aryan traditions, this force would likely be associated with natural elements like fire, light, or energy, all of which are seen as foundational to existence. The root ig, or something similar, in many ancient traditions often refers to a life-giving force or spiritual energy. For instance, in shamanic cultures, there is often a belief in a vital force that animates all living things. Ixwa might represent this force that flows through the world, sustaining both life and death. The suffix "zwa", which is WJA, could symbolize the process of transformation or movement between realms. In pre-Indo-Aryan cosmologies, the journey between the physical and spiritual realms is often marked by the crossing of boundaries, whether through death, shamanic rites, or other forms of spiritual passage. Ixwa could represent a force or being that facilitates or embodies this transformative process. In many pre-Indo-Aryan cultures, cosmic forces were believed to be represented by deities, spirits, or natural elements that had the power to affect both the material and spiritual worlds. Ijwa could be the effect. No, Ijwa could be understood as a representation of one of these forces, perhaps associated with the sun, the moon, or the underworld, depending on the specific cultural context. This would align with the idea of a force that governs the cycle of creation and destruction, much like the concept of the world tree or axis mundi in later Indo-European traditions. In many early cultures, fire is not only a physical element, but also a spiritual symbol. It represents both creation and destruction. The association of Ig with fire or light would align with the pre-Indo-Aryan belief in the purifying and transformative powers of fire. The idea of spiritual transformation and the passage between worlds could be central to the meaning of Ijwa. In pre-Indo-Aryan traditions, shamans were often seen as mediators between the human world and the spiritual world. Ijwa might represent a shamanic journey or a cosmic force that facilitates these transitions. In many ancient cosmologies, natural phenomena such as storms, lightning, sunrise, and sunset were seen as manifestations of divine or spiritual forces. If Ijwa is linked to these elements, it could be interpreted as a force of change, power, or transformation that is both present and in the natural world and in the spiritual realm. In a pre-Indo-Aryan context, Ijwa could be understood as a cosmic or spiritual force that embodies vital energy, transformation, and movement. It might represent a divine force or spiritual intermediary that facilitates the passage between different realms, whether between life and death, the physical and spiritual worlds, or the cycles of the cosmos. This interpretation would align with the broader shamanic, animistic, and spiritual traditions of early cultures, where forces of nature and spirit were closely intertwined. The term der, which is Dher, in the context of pre-Indo-Aryan linguistics, would likely have roots in early languages and cultures predating the Indo-Aryan language family. While there isn't a direct or established record of Dher, in known pre-Indo-Aryan texts, we can attempt to infer its meaning by examining possible phonetic roots, cultural context, and spiritual significance. Der could be seen as related to early linguistic forms that carry connotations of stability, firmness, or holding. Several early